What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Like always, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment down below. Today, we're talking about Tom Clancy's The Hunt for Red October. As you know, I'm on a Tom Clancy kick right now. I have one more Tom Clancy. Well, it's not by Tom. We'll get to that. Anyways, this book, a solid 9 out of 10, just like Red Rabbit. I thoroughly enjoyed it. The one thing I like about Tom Clancy is he's such a good writer that even though a majority of the book there's not too much action, it's just like slow burn or whatever you want to call it. Then the last 100 pages, the action sequences pick up a bit, but it's mainly just a slow burn. So basically, what you got going on. Most of y'all know the plot for The Hunt for Red October. If you've seen the movie, the plot's similar, but the book, scorches the movie by leaps and bounds. I didn't like the movie that much. We actually watched it on Sunday, the 15th of March, 2026. The wife and I did. I say that because I don't know when this book. Uh, we watched the movie and then I finished Red Rabbit and then I started reading this one. So I finished this book on Tuesday, March 17th. The one thing I'll say about Tom Clancy, he reads well, so you can read him quickly and it'll stick in your head. Um, yeah, he wiped out back there. It's fine. He's a dude. He's gonna wipe out a lot in life. Anyways, so Jack Ryan, basically is tasked with going to help a submarine that's basically full of Russian defectors. The officers are defecting from Russia. Their crew doesn't know it, and the doctor on board doesn't know it. So they're tasked with going and trying to get this, super submarine with the special ability to not be it can't be what do you say detected. It can't be detected. And Americans want to, they want to get greedy and they want to look at this technology, this how they doing this. And so you just most of the book you're dealing with that is the Red October and Ramius, the captain aboard. They're basically showing off like, look what we could do and there's nothing you could do about it. At the same time, he knows that they're defecting to America. They're getting out of Russia, what the movie does is it doesn't give you really the backstory on why Ramius really is doing this, and if it does, we missed it because you hear that in the background. We miss a lot in shows and movies. Um, but the book gives a real thorough like background on why he has such a problem with Russia and the Soviet Union at the time and the KGB and all that, and why he wants out and why a lot of them wanted out back then. You can almost think this was something that really happened back in that you know during the Cold War. So, anyways, you meet a lot of characters, a lot of them that were in Red Rabbit as well. A lot of them that were in Patriot games as you're following Jack Ryan as he's moving his way up the political ladder. And, he's still just an analysis in the CIA. But this time, it's a step up from what he had to do in Red Rabbit, where he went and was just helping escort a Russian defector, across a border, you know, to get to the West. This time, it's a whole entire submarine that is being flanked, you know, they're being tracked by Russians right now because the Russians are suspicious. They've been told that the Red October blew up and sank to the bottom of the ocean, but they're still suspicious. Well, that's where it all comes to the head at the end of the book. Ryan and some of the Americans are aboard the Red October now with the last there's like 20 of them left or 12 or 20 or something of the Russians that are defecting. The Red October had been sabotaged, so that's why a lot of the men had to get off earlier with the doctor because somebody was causing the radiation to leak. Well, you meet that somebody towards the end of the book, just in your face. It just happens, real quick. And basically, the cook on the submarine sabotaged it because he's a super, Russian patriot. He's super brainwashed. He's all about it. Die for the cause. Stuff like that. You know what I mean? And so there's a good action sequence there where Ramius, the Russian captain of Red October, and Jack Ryan, are tracking him down to, basically take him out, which they do. They end up taking him out. And I guess I could say that I gave some spoilers for this one, but not really. There's so much. in depthness in this book, and there's so many characters that sometimes you got to go back a page or two to remember what's going on. And then there's random insertion of characters that I guess maybe are gonna pop in a later like there was just one sequence where Agent Hazel or something comes in and gets something that one of the other CIA spies left her in the back of a taxi, but that's really all we get of her in the book, unless I missed something, but I'm pretty sure I didn't. So I'm interested to see where she comes in later. Does she at all? I don't know. You know what I mean? Tom Clancy's still new to me. This would be my fourth Tom Clancy book as I'm going in the chronological order. So I started Without Remorse, did Patriot Games, then Red Rabbit, now the Hunt for Red October. So solid 9 out of 10. The book was amazing. I had a great time with it. And anyways, back to what I was, what's going on in the story. The Russians, finally they figure out that the Red October, one submarine that can't, it's not in contact with Soviet Union right now. They figure out that they the Red October isn't at the bottom of the ocean, and so they're trying to blow it up. Well, the Red October ends up blowing them up, so all them Russians sink and die. So pretty terrible. Ryan has that on his conscience now, and basically at the whole time this is going on, all the higher ups, like basically the guys underneath the president that Ryan pretty much works for and has his string, has to kiss their butts and all that. They're watching Ryan what he's doing, and they're already preparing him for whatever's next. You know what I mean? So he's working his way up the ladder. Because if I remember hearing other people talk about Jack Ryan and the Jack Ryan universe, he works his way up to president. So I can't wait to get there. I'm reading all the books in the Jack Ryan universe, even after it's just Tom Clancy's name on it and it's a different author. So that's where we come in to my next book on my TBR is Red Winter. It's Tom Clancy's Red Winter by Mark Cameron. So if you're going in chronological order, this one comes before whichever one is out. I don't know what comes next. I think it's the Cardinal and the Kremlin. Yeah. So I'm super excited to get to this one. I hope Mark Cameron does Tom Clancy justice and reads as smooth as Tom Clancy, but we shall see, and I shall leave a review for it. And all these books will be in the Tom Clancy playlist, and I am going to make like a 1 minute quick review video to add to the playlist of Patriot Games because I did not make a video for Patriot Games for some odd reason because I love that book. Uh, the first two so far, Without Remorse and Patriot Games, were by far my favorite so far out of the four I've read. So we'll see what Mark Cameron does with Red Winter. So that's next up on the TBR, and I will have a TBR till summer video loading up within the next week, and by the time I load it up, I would have probably already read one or two books coming up on it, this one included. So that is the video today, guys. Like and subscribe, leave a comment down below. Later.